Hello and welcome to Thursday. Oh no, it's Friday. We already did Thursday. So welcome to Frank Friday. It's a free for all. So today we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't know a lot of things about everything, but I will give you what I have and we will go from there. And if I don't know the answer, I'll get it for you. So this is our daily dose. And like I said, today is Frank Friday, the free-for-all, discussing the health issues, concerns that you have, whatever that's on your mind. And I will share some things that's been on my mind. Hello, Miss D, and welcome. My name is Jetty Taylor Robinson. I am a health coach, and I am the founder and steward for Taylor's Holistic Approach Ministries, a ministry that's focused on God and gut health. So we just truly believe that God's food is medicine, and we need to go back to how it originated, why God made it is because it's to feed and to nourish us and to keep us healthy. And the times that we do get sick, it's to help our bodies be able to fight so that we could heal. So today we're going to talk about, we have open discussion. So whatever that's on your mind that you would like to talk about, we are going to do that. So, hi Melvin. So today, like I said, is free for all. So anything that you guys wanted to discuss today, we're going to do that. And I mentioned yesterday that I wanted to talk about brain health. And it's just so much great information out there. I was looking at a couple of YouTube videos, and I will be sure to post them after the live to make sure that you get all of the information. I will put the link on there so that you can listen because it's a lot of information. Dr. Daniel Amen, who is a doctor who does natural medicine and healing, and along with the medical part of it, but he's really an alternative doctor who is great. And then of course my go-to is Dr. Axe and his sidekick, I'm going to say his partner, Jordan Rubin, who have some great information about keeping your brain healthy, because as we get older, we see signs. So that is what I want to discuss today. So Ms. D says, what's the benefit of using zinc to fight COVID disease? Because zinc helps with your immune system. A lot of times we're low in zinc, we're zinc deficient. And so zinc is a great immune booster. A lot of times when you have some viruses or colds or flu or whatever, they will recommend vitamin C and zinc. So zinc is good for your immune system. Okay, anybody else? I will keep talking, and then whenever I see a question about anything, then I will stop and I will read the question and prayerfully give you an answer, give you something that you are looking for. Okay, so I will dive right into this thing, whether it's dementia, Alzheimer's, you're welcome, Ms. D, Alzheimer's, which is a form of dementia, whether it's Parkinson's, just, real faint, okay, things are beginning to slip my memory, I'm being forgetful about things. They said, it's time to really start taking a serious look at your habits. That includes your eating habits, your exercise habits, all these things that affect your life, affects your brain. And so I just wanted to really, I started on the line of just really looking and doing some reading and listening about Alzheimer's and also about dementia. But there's so many other, because there's different types of dementias. And so Alzheimer's is probably just the more common dementia out there. So I thought, well, you know, if we just do like brain health, then that will cover everything. So how about begging for helping with deteriorating memory and forgiveness? What is where I've never heard of the prevagen. Is it some kind of medication? Is it what is it, Miss D? And am I pronouncing it right? So, and that was one of the videos I'm going to share, and I'm going to tell you some things that they said it's good for brain health. So just to kind of like go over the YouTube video that I saw with Dr. Daniel Amen. He is, like I said, a doctor who basically he works on people with brain disorders like, you know, stroke, Alzheimer's, and different types of dementia. And he's written several books. And so I'm going to look up his book, and I'm going to also post his book that he references in this video. It's an over-the-counter drug. Okay, that's why I haven't. No, I haven't heard of it, especially if it's, you know, over-the-counter drug. I don't really look into things like that. I guess I should, just to, you know, to know what it is and what it does and what they say it does. But Dr. Amen's thing is that you're not stuck with the brain you have. A lot of times in the medical community, you know, once you get to, you know, where you're getting the early stages of Alzheimer's, and Dr. Amen alludes to the fact that, you know, the first time you like can't remember like where you're going or whatever, he said that's like an advanced sign. He said it starts early on. Some people in their 20s experience some form of you know, brain dysfunction. So he says, but his thing is you just have to know what to do. A lot of times he talked about, like, you know, you being diagnosed with, say for instance, Alzheimer's, and the doctor will say, you know, okay, get yourself, you know, get your affairs in order, and then they put you into some kind of facility where you literally just, you know, are there and you waste away. And he mentioned them giving you like a menu, and you get to pick whatever you want to pick. And so those of you who've been watching me know that that was one of my pet peeves, as going into a hospital and seeing people, you know, who have had surgery for cancer, and they're giving them all this, you know, sweets and dairies and stuff, and that's really totally not okay. Okay, so I have a couple of people. I'm gonna say, I'm trying to keep up with it. Please spell Dr. It's spelled like Amen. It's A-M-E-N. Daniel Amen. Miss D. Hi, sweetie. Danielle. Okay, so they related to a dietary supplement. It has some ingredients found in jellyfish used for their cognitive functions. Okay, yeah, I haven't heard of that. So we're going to stick with carrying on. If you have any other questions or comments, I'll stop in the interim. So, so then he says that, you know, with the medical people, they do that. They'll say, you know, there's nothing we can do because there's not a cure for this disease. You just have to wait it out until you know, pass away. But he has done so many studies, and he's healed so many people from dreaded diseases, brain functions and stuff. And so that's why I really wanted to really go into, you know, in depth to what he's saying. And I really want to read his book to find out even more. He, you know, just listening to his video, he really intrigued me to look further into this, you know, brain health. So he says that this is the video is him in a conference in Long Beach, and so he was talking to this crowd about brain healthy life. So he says everyone, regardless of your age, should be in an Alzheimer's prevention program. And so that's where they go in. The first thing they do is they screen you. They take a picture of your brain and they know what a healthy brain looks like, and then they compare it to your brain. And then they can actually tell you if you actually do have Alzheimer's, because sometimes people have been misdiagnosed in saying that they have Alzheimer's. And he gives an example of that in the top of his program, in the top of his video. So he says there is 11 risk factors that steal your mind. And one is blood flow. He says low blood flow, actually it kills it starts killing your brain cells. Okay, it says things that restrict your blood flow to your brain is caffeine, and I'm sure it's probably because we talked about caffeine like in green tea, but I'm going to read up because I think this is probably like, you know, caffeine in like sodas or, you know, things that are bad for your health, period. High blood pressure. He says when your blood pressure is low or high, it restricts blood flow to your brain. He says, and when you have restricted blood flow to your brain, it actually shrinks your brain. It makes your brain smaller. Heart disease affects the blood flow to your brain. Not exercising restricts the blood flow to your brain. And we were talking, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and that Norma was saying how she parks far away when she goes to the store so that she could get that extra exercise. And he actually uses that as an example. Does it work in humans? Does what work in humans? I'm sorry, Misty, are you referring to something else that somebody else said, or something that I said? Because all of these are actually things that he's done as far as like with his human patients. So for men, erectile dysfunction, because he says it's all about blood flow. He said it restricts the blood flow to your brain. One thing that he highly recommends that someone take is ginkgo, the ginkgo supplement. And he also recommends coordination exercises. So these things helps your brain. It helps the cerebrum part of your brain with the coordination exercises, and it helps increase the blood flow to your brain. So we have blood flow is a big thing when it comes to your brain health. Retirement and aging. The thing he said about this is, you know, as we get older, we're less active. And so we need to, you know, start learning something new every day, or you know, try to make a habit of, you know, really exercising your brain and learning something new, being more active. Because when he says when you stop learning, your brain starts dying. And the older you get, you know, you really need to pay attention to how much activity your brain gets. So, you know, doing crossword puzzles, doing, he said his grandmother crocheted, you know, crochet and knitting, something that really, you know, works on your coordination exercise. It's really good for your brain. Inflammation, we've been talking about that all the time. And it's a cause of many conditions and diseases and illnesses. So he says that inflammation restricts the blood flow to your brain. So he suggests taking a good multivitamin and also a high quality omega-3 fatty acid supplement. All of that, you know, we always says, you know, when you're dealing with brain, that omega-3 is good. And he says he recommends a supplement because he says, you know, of mercury in a lot of fish. So you have to, you don't really know the high mercury content that's in the fish. There, it's not on the package. So he recommends just taking a high quality supplement. And he talks about genetics, how genetics could play a role in, you know, your blood, your brain health. How some people have, if you have like Alzheimer's in your family, then you need to really get tested early, and you need to get into a program, or just start doing the things. If you can't find a program, just start doing the things that are good for your brain. Okay, and taking out all of the processed and the grains and all of the things that will make your, okay, you're replying to Danielle. Okay, all the things that affect your brain health. So he says that just because, you know, people in your family, say for instance, have, you know, diabetes, or have high blood pressure, or have Alzheimer's, it doesn't destine you to have it, because there's things that you can do to prevent it. Head traumas, he talked about, you know, people who, he says, don't let your kids play football or take a soccer ball and hit it to your head, because he talks about how the brain is about as soft as like maybe butter at room temperature. And so it's very, although, you know, your skull is hard, your brain can just take so much trauma that it really starts affecting, you know, and giving you inflammation, and then affecting your blood flow. Toxins. This one, I plan to do something, and it's, I guess, a series or just a talk, and it's called You Are Intoxicating. And really it's a play on words about how many toxins we take on a daily basis. Some we just never think about, something in our everyday lives that we do, and it affects our health. And one thing he talked about was lead, and specifically lead in lipstick. That's why I didn't wear lipstick today. I just have on this organic lip balm. I'm going to look into the ingredients in my lipstick, and although I don't wear it often, still, you know, over a period of time, it's just gathering. And sometimes, you know, you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and, you know, from all these little bitty things, and then they add up. So he talked about the lead in lipstick and the toxins in our the makeup that we wear every day, and how this affects the blood flow to our brain. I mentioned mental health, and Danielle, a scientist patented it for the use of humans, and that's been good progress. It has good progress review. Okay, anything that's not, that is made in a lab, no matter how many good effects they have, especially if it's something new, sometimes the side effects may happen over a long period of time. You just never know. It could be years later that they find out that, oh, you know, it took care of this, but then something else was happening. So, you know, with me, I'm always going, you know, plant-based, organic recommendations. So, but, you know, if that's something that you want to try, then by all means, just, you know, be cautious about it. Okay, immunity, infections. He talked about, if you know, we've been talking about boosting our immune system. So when you're having trouble with your immune system, that affects the flow of blood to your brain. So we want to, and when we have any type of infection, which, you know, it goes back to inflammation, it affects the blood flow in our brain. Okay, diabetes. He talked about being diabetic and obese, and it's a term they use, diabetes. And so that affects the blood flow to your brain. Sleep, or lack thereof, affects the blood flow to your brain. We need at least 7 hours of sleep a night. or a day whenever you sleep, to be to help. So, Ms. J, you basically are saying organic or natural is best. Yes, I'm saying that God's food is medicine, and so if something is made from that with no kind of additives, because a lot of times people will say, you know, it's all natural, and they'll say it's organic, but you have to know that these terms aren't regulated. So they can say it, and even if it has a drop of organic something in it, they can put organic on it. Or if it says natural, all natural, what exactly does all natural mean? So you just have to be really, like I said, the proof is in the print. Read the ingredients and see what else is added in. So if they say for instance, sometimes they'll say natural flavors added. Well, exactly what does that mean? Okay, why can't they name the flavor, or just say, you know, fruit was added, or something like that was added. Naturally added usually means something that they made up. So just be mindful of ingredients. Okay, so we jumping back on sleep. We need sleep to regenerate, to rest. Our minds need rest because it's going. We have thousands of thoughts in a day. And so that alone can affect, like, we need that downtime for our brain to rest, for our bodies to rest, to regenerate. So Danielle says, very good point. No letter or numbers in ingredients. Okay, that's good, but what do you know the ingredients? That's another thing. Like, can you pronounce the ingredients? Do you know what the ingredients are? They said, like, if one of the sayings that goes, it says, if it grows in the ground, then you can eat it, but if it's made in the lab, then don't eat it. So that's just going, like, to the far, like, naturally. Okay, so just look with whatever this product is, just like do some research and see if there is a plant, an herb, a spice, or sorry, my thing shifted. I lost contact for a minute. But just do your research and see if there's something that God made that already does that. I know a lot of times we do things for convenience, but sometimes, convenience has gotten us into trouble. So just whatever plant extract or whatever, I'll have to look it up and really do some research on it, and then and you can do as well, just to see exactly what it is. But we've been talking about teas, herbs, and spices that help you with brain health, with all kind of things that you need. So I think the best thing to do is, if you like I said, if you want to do it, then go ahead, but just be cautious of the ingredients, and do some, you can Google it, see if there's been any kind of side effects, because sometimes they won't put the side effects if it's a minimum amount of people. It's just like one person out of 100 developed a heart condition, or whatever, and then you might be that one person or the second person. So just be mindful. Okay. So it says, when you are modeling in your life, are you modeling health or are you modeling illness? That just means your bad habits. So it's like, if you're trying to move into better health, then you have to really take a look at, where you are now. A lot of people make the excuses when they say, well, you should cut away from, sugar. You should cut away from this or that. And they say, well, I don't do that much of it, or I don't do it that often. But the thing about it is you have to look at where you are. And okay, you don't do it that often, but you're still having these issues. So maybe you don't need to do it all. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what is it doing for you? Say, since we're on, when I mentioned like somebody who is ill with, with cancer, with Alzheimer's, with, all of these diseases that restrict brain flow to your, that restrict blood flow to your brain. It says sugary foods are foods that turn in, or are foods that turn into sugar, accelerate memory loss. So just remember that, especially if you or you have a loved one who is starting to deal with memory loss, or who has Alzheimer's or some form of dementia or Parkinson's. Just remember that, to cut out the sugar. That's something that, don't try to wing it off. If you're in a drastic state, then just cut it off altogether, because sugar promotes memory loss. And that's something that, we can do like right away. Some people may have, withdrawals or whatever, but, substitute fruit for the sugary things. And yes, some fruit contains sugar, but then it also contains fiber. So that helps. So I think I just answered your question, Danielle. Okay, so, and if they're at like an advanced stage, even fruit to a minimum. We just want to, a lot of times we have to take away things completely in order to get better, and then you reintroduce it at a lesser dose, and it's like less fruit. But you can have things that apples, oranges, whatever fruit you want. But like I said, it kind of like with the fiber, that it helps with the sugar intake. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so so just going back, just some statistic. There is $250 billion is spent on caring for people with Alzheimer's each year. There are 40 million people in the world who have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and 5.5 million of them live in the U.S. They said every 3 seconds globally, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So brain health is so very vitally important to start even earlier. They always say that a child's diet can affect their adult life, their health in their adult life. So we want to start as early as possible, making good decisions, taking away bad habits. Okay, so we want to, and especially if we are caring for someone that has, a brain disease or disorder, you want to, cut out the sugar, make sure they have high quality vitamin supplements, make sure they have that, the omega-3 fatty acid supplements, just, and make sure that they, you're active. A lot of times, especially the older we get, we just like, I'm just not feeling it. I don't like to do that anymore, or, I'm tired, or, I'm too tired to do that. I'm too old to do that. But you have to keep moving. You have to keep your brain active. So moving on to another thing that I said, Dr. Axe, he has this YouTube video, and it's 8 secrets to boost your brain. And they're talking about living a grain-free life. So just taking grains, eating them in a certain way. Like if they're soaked, certain kind of grains like quinoa, maybe millet, those kind of grains may be okay. But if, like I said, if you're in a situation where you really need to clean it up, just cut out all kinds of grains. Eat good fats. We talked about the omega-3 fatty acids. Dark fruit. This is another thing. Dark fruit like cherries, blueberries, blackberries, those kinds of fruits are very, very good for brain health. So any type of dark fruit is good for brain health. We've talked about certain type of herbs are good for brain health. Spices, essential oils, probiotics. So all of these things that we need to look into for better brain health, and cut out the processing foods, cut out the sugars, and things that will do us more harm. Exercise more. So it's just cutting out bad habits, getting an exercise, physical exercise and mental exercise is going to help you have a more healthy brain. This is no matter what age and stage in life you're in. God is able, because his food is medicine. We just need to take it the right way. And we can't take it one day and then go back to the old habit the other way the next day. We have to clean up ourselves. And sometimes we have to take it all away in order to reintroduce it, like I said, at a later date, but then everything in moderation. We don't want to end back up in the same place or worse by going back to our old habits. Okay, so that's what I have for brain health. Like I said, I'll be posting a link to both of these videos on my Ministries page so that you can look at it and get the more in-depth information on Dr. Amon's. He really has a lot of information, but it's based off of one of his books, and I will definitely purchase that book and do some more reading up on it. Okay, anyone else? Anything else? This is Taylor's Holistic Approach, our daily dose, and today is Frank Friday Free for All. So we want to discuss whatever you want to discuss. That was my part for today. That was my thing, is brain health, because it's affecting so many people on a daily basis that we need to. They said at the time that you really see signs, the damage in the brain started long before that. So those of us who are getting up in years need to really get on it and really be on top of it so that we can turn things around. Okay. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. And if you have any more, when is my book being published? I don't know. My book right now is at the editors. And so when I get it back from the editors and then I add in, and I got to get the work from the illustrator and put it all together, I will keep everyone posted. And the first book is about, it's based on my first month of videos for making good sense of it all. Just really breaking down the gut and gut health and how it operates. And so that's going to be out prayerfully by spring, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. And then I'm working on a second book in between all of these lives. And it's about the spiritual connection to our gut. So that's coming. That'll be book 2. The Lord says the same. So if you have any other questions or comments, I will look out for them on the post for this video, for this live, and I will get back to you immediately. So Reverend Brown talked about snacks. So the reason, and someone else came on and asked for a good bedtime snack, and I kind of says, well, I really don't recommend it. And it's because another thing of our bodies needing to rest, and so if you eat before your bedtime, that kicks in, your body's, having to digest that. So while you're sleeping, your body is working. So the best thing we want to do is we want our bodies to rest and digest all the food from the day. That's why we eat 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, and then after that, try to cut it out and then just let our bodies just rest. So, so I feel, so that's what I have. Tomorrow is Saturday. Saturday, we're going to talk about a spice. We're going to introduce a new spice for the week. Okay, and you can tell me like on the link. I'm thinking about doing, instead of doing like a spice like in an herb and everything like for the week, just to maybe carry it on to a monthly thing. That way we can exhaust it. We can have more information about it rather than this kind of like this hit and miss kind of thing, like where you have like a week to try it. If you don't get out in a week, then maybe you need a couple of ones, or we can do it like introduce something every other week. So give me your opinion. Let me know what you think that we should start doing, whether we would continue on a weekly basis to introduce something new, or every other week, or on a monthly basis. Because what I really just want you all to do is just get it, and then not only just get the information, but being able to put the information into action, being able to use it. And then not only by using it, seeing it make a difference in your life. Because that's what this ministry is all about, is you changing your mindset and to say, I want better, and to put it into action, and for it to actually manifest in your life, where you can see the difference. Okay, so may God bless and keep you, and prayerfully I will see you on tomorrow for Spicy Saturday. God bless.